So hello everyone, I'm Rory. Let's get this event started with a product update on Mari. To begin with, I'd like to touch on what the Mari team has accomplished over the last year. Mari 4.6 was a landmark release for us. Many of you had told us that it had been our best release in years. Following from our material system introduction in Mari 4.5, 4.6 brought geochannels to Mari. Geochannels allowed artists to integrate baked mesh maps into their material presets, ready to be applied across the team's projects to get material looks more grounded into the shape and form of the object they were applied to. With the material system, we've been encouraging artists to take advantage of Mari's incredibly powerful node graph for material designing. So we took steps to improve the user experience by making nodes collapsible, making parallel material streams display as a single connection, and improving our auto layout algorithm for easier to read left-to-right look development workflows. We also included a wide array of new filters and patterns for increased proceduralism in your Mari workflows. These include a live curvature, scratches pattern, as well as all new position and camera projection procedurals to enable decal placement workflows. Then rounding off 4.6 V1, we got new vendor shaders from Chaos Group and the 3Delight team, helping streamline look development between Mari and Katana. For the Mari team, we recognize that day-to-day usability is just as important as fundamental workflow features. With each maintenance release, we strive to address even the smallest niggle or annoyance reported to us by you to make sure they become a thing of the past. Our latest maintenance release is Mari 4.6 V4, and we're super excited about the benefits it brings to look development artists. For a start, we've introduced a limited patch range for bake points. Where before a bake point would flatten and force bake all patches of your model, a new option on the bake point node allows you to limit the patch range that is processed on each bake. Gone are the days of baking 20 or 100 patches of your model when all you wanted were 2. Now you can have more fine-tuned control when reducing project complexity with bake points, saving you tons of time so you can spend it creating something incredible. The bake point node also enjoys a newly introduced export on bake option, perfect for look development artists working across Mari and Katana. This automatically exports the latest flattened texture maps to a predetermined file sequence on disk on each bakepoint update, ready to be picked up by your preferred renderer, accelerating the workflow between Mari and programs like Katana. We've introduced a local space transform mode. Transform handles are now orientated with the object or locator's rotation, so that transformation along the rotated axis is now possible. Artists can switch between transform handles more effectively without having to slow their pace thanks to an increased handle hit area. We've updated the visual appearance of edge connections in Mari's node graph, finding a compromise between straight and curvy depending on the position of the two nodes being connected together. There are a lot more small tweaks and enhancements for both artists and developers in Mari 4.6 V4, so I do encourage you to read the release notes on learn.foundry.com to gauge the full picture of this quality of life release that we're incredibly happy with. Moving on, I'd like to show you some of the features we're currently working on for our next major release. Mari continues to build on the material system with the introduction of custom procedurals and a brand new shelf. We've refreshed the shelf UI to be sleeker and more user-friendly, while all the Mari system shelves and content are still at your fingertips. The shelf is divided into two main sections. The shelf panel on the left, which can be used to navigate between your shelves, and the shelf items panel on the right. The shelf panel dictates which items appear on the adjacent panel depending on your current selection. Shelf item thumbnails can now be scaled using the Resize Thumbnail button at the top of the right-hand panel. Shelves can now be grouped for better organization, and selecting the group name on the left will show all items nested within its contained shelves. Our new shelf brings artists the ability to search and filter shelf content across both single and multiple shelves. Search results can be restricted by shelf item type by using the Filter drop-down menu. You can search for shelf items by name or by tag. Tags give you more power to decide how you want to organize your content. A material's tags, shader model, name, and list of geochannels used is now displayed in a rich tooltip. You can also edit shelf item tags in place using the Edit Tags tool in the right-click menu. Any existing tags are displayed in the drop-down menu to make conforming to existing tag names easier. We are really looking forward to seeing how the new shelf transforms how teams can manage and share their libraries of materials, brushes, and textures. Also coming to Mari are custom procedurals. These are a mix between our Gizmo and material systems, in the manner that you can author your own procedurals, like you would a Gizmo, except when you export them, all reference texture maps will be bundled into a single package file, with an automatic thumbnail being generated for display on the shelf, like materials do. While authoring your procedural, you can designate the intended use for it in the Export tab. Color procedurals will utilize color management. Scalar procedurals can be used for non-color patterns like roughness or normal textures. And procedural mask. These allow you to add your published procedural directly to a layer as its mask. And like materials, all promoted controls will appear in the Layer Properties panel. Procedural masks really open the creative possibilities for generating smarter masking when utilizing geochannels. For all our no-graph artists out there using the material system, we will also be bringing your most requested feature in our next major release, the multi-channel bake point. You'll be able to choose which streams to batch bake, as well as use our new limited patch range feature across all material streams. The multi-channel bake point will give artists fine-tuned control to increase project performance when using complex procedural materials in large multi-item projects. We can't wait to get these features in your hands, so keep an eye out on our community forums for updates and beta releases. Looking forward, Mari has always positioned itself in the heart of a studio's Look development pipeline, and we see the future of studio pipelines being built around the Universal Scene Description Format, or USD. The launch of Mari 4.64 also saw our first step into the world of USD. Originally developed at Pixar, Foundry has open-sourced a plugin to import USD meshes and Xforms into your Mari project. Due to the limitations of Mari's C API, the mesh importer has a simple interface for now, compared to other core importers like Alembic, but it features all the options you need to get your asset into Mari. You can import the entire stage or specify which meshes to import by its prim name. You can choose which UV set to use as well. The plugin also allows you to flatten stage animation into your project. The USD Mesh Importer also has native support for open subdiv tokens, so in the Mari Subdivision UI, you can pick the Use Source option to allow the USD file to drive all the schemas and interpolation methods for your subdivision. Once you have your USD models in Mari, you can texture them as you would normally with Mari's high-quality painting tools. So this is what USD in Mari looks like now. However, we are planning far more interesting developments for the next year. Our first challenge will be to make Mari the look development tool you use to author your preview looks and allow you to publish these into your pipeline as a USD shade layer. We want to bring the USD preview surface into Mari as a shader, from where you can plug your channels into it and export a preview quality USD shade document, referencing the original USD document you used to start the project. With preview looks published from Mari back to USD, we see studios gaining the ability to streamline preview looks into viewers via Hydra's HD Storm Render Delegate, achieving a much richer visual experience in shot production applications. And beyond previewing, we also want to extend this workload to author renderer native looks with USD Shade, and further streamline look development from Mari to Katana. We see Mari having an incredible future in your look development pipeline. Thank you for watching.